it looks like we're going to go right on the Central Park line now. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. We're down here on Columbia Street, right at 8th and Columbia by the old tram depot. That fancy lamp stand is right in front of the CPR depot. That's the Chilliwack baggage car coming over in the morning. He's going to turn right into the depot, into track 3. Now, there's the Central Park pulling out with a pair of St. Louis, pulling out of track 1. That's the Westminster Trust building in the background. Still looks as good today as it did then. He's right out in the middle of Columbia Street, and then he goes down past the front of the market, over 10th Street. In a moment, we'll get a shot of the car barns in New Westminster there. That's where they built a lot of them. Most of these cars were built in New Westminster. Right in those shops. This is a big Coolman car. There was 3 of them bought. You can tell by the round windows. That was a pair of St. Louis there, with the square windows. This is all Stewartson Way now. And this is 14th Street Station, right opposite Alaska Pine. This SkyTrain guideway is right above this spot. We had a stop at 12th Street Junction, 3rd Avenue, 14th Street, 16th Street, 6th Avenue, Meade, and Elsona. And now the SkyTrain leaves Westminster and goes straight to 22nd Street, which is about Elsona, with no stops. Climbing up the hill. This is right alongside of Stewartson Way. Now we've crossed 6th Avenue or Marine Drive, and we're heading to 20th Street, which was Meade Station. Here's a big pair of Coolmans coming down, heading towards New Westminster. There's Elsona. Now we're going around the bend to Connaught Hill Station. Just beyond Connaught Hill now is used to be the old gravel pit, but now it is where the car barns and repair shops for the SkyTrain are. That's Connaught Hill Station right at 10th Avenue. The old spur you see is where they used to get the gravel gons out of the gravel out of the gravel pit. And that big clear space is now where the SkyTrain car barns are, taking up the whole area. Here's the whistle board for Leaside Station, which was Stride Avenue. There's McGregor. And we go around the bend, and all that bush on the right is where Weiserloch is now. All industry there. The next stop is Prenter, which is straight down the hill from Burnaby South High School. Now there's all the high school kids. They're all run down the hill to catch this train, but he's going to fool them. He's not going to stop for them. He's going to go right through there. Look at that meanie doing that. The kids don't know it, but he knows that there's another train following right behind him to take care of the school kids. Now he's coming around the bend to Fraser Arms Station. This is at Gilly Avenue, and this is where the buses met the Interurban. That looks like an old pair of thousands. We had 9 of those. Or was there 10? I guess it was 10, because they were all in pairs. The next station is where the old original tram line used to go before they built the cutoff in 1912. If you see straight down through the camera, that pole line and the track, that is the old original Westminster Tramway. It is still used for freight for a couple of bucks. Here he's coming up to Highland Park Station, where the old streetcar was on the old original tram line, and the streetcar used to meet the train here before they put the buses on. Look at the big stump on the right-hand side there. Huge big tree they must have fell. Now we're coming up to McPherson Station. On the left-hand side was a big cannery where they used to can fruit, vegetables, and they've just completely torn it all down now, and it's all brand new, nice condominiums. Heading towards Royal Oak Station. Now we're crossing Nelson Avenue towards Jubilee Station. Now, an interesting fact here that right from this station for the next 4 or 5 stations is all Metro Town. This is where the Jubilee Station is, where Imperial Street crossed the tracks. Now he's leaving Jubilee. Now the next station was Dow Road, which is difficult to find now because of Metrotown. The spur on the right-hand side is the freight spur that used to service the Ford plant, Kelly Douglas. When they put that track in, they had to cut the stations in half so they would see how skinny the station is. They had to make room for the track. That's Dow Road Station. Now you can see West Burnaby is just a half a block away. There was another stop we had to make. Now that is about right where Metrotown Station is on the SkyTrain today. Then we come down to McKay. And this will be Patterson coming up. Now Metrotown goes practically from, well, it goes from McKay to Patterson. Now we're going down through Central Park. Kingsway, you can see the traffic on Kingsway ahead there. Have a good shot of one of the old Pacific Stage buses here in a moment. It's big green. I think it was a Brill, but there was a beautiful bus in those days. There he is. Look at that. He's not afraid of that old Interurban. He knows that Interurban's going to stop. That's Central Park Station. Now we're going down pretty good grade here. If we can get through Park Avenue without stopping, we can get this thing really rolling. There's a big Valley car coming up, one of the big Chilliwack cars. He goes right by Park Avenue Station. Now, this is what we used to call Collingwood East, which is now known as Joyce Station on the SkyTrain. Always got lots of customers from Collingwood East. Notice that this is Collingwood West Station, but look at the woodwork on the top of the stations. They were ornamental, no other reason that anybody can figure out. All the stations at one time had those, like a spire on the top. This is one of the old thousands. We only used these in the rush hour. They were not quite as big and not as powerful as the general run. There's the old powerhouse substation at Earls Road. That old building is still there today. It looks like they're starting to dismantle it, but it's still there. This is Earls Road Station. There's a portable substation out there just behind the station cover. Right here is where 29th Street station is on the SkyTrain. Next stop is Beaconsfield. That's Slocan Street, but the SkyTrain goes underneath Slocan Street now. This is one continuous grade right from Lakeview Station right up to Collingwood West. It's just a perfect grade all the way. No up or down or anything, just perfect grade. Coming into Nanaimo now. Nanaimo Street goes underneath at this point. And it still does on the SkyTrain. Nanaimo Station. That was Gladstone Trestle. We're just going over there. This Gladstone Station. Just down the bottom of the hill is Lakeview Station, right by Trout Lake. It's coming around the corner now to Victoria Drive, which was a very busy street in those days. And there's a stop board for the interurban. The motorman has to stop at Whistleoff before he crosses Victoria Drive. And then it's a very short distance to Cedar Cottage Station, where he cuts onto the city street. Coming into Cedar Cottage. Now he's coming down Commercial Drive towards 12th Avenue. Three-car train with a trailer in the center. You'll notice there's no trolley poles on the center car. It's no motors in it. There's the old L6, the old line car, right out going over the Great Northern Cut on Commercial Drive. He's coming down Venable Street now, going to turn on to Clark right by Hammond Furniture. You notice how slow he's going. That's a pretty tight curve there. He has to be pretty careful coming around there. Now he's on Clark Drive heading for Hastings Street. There's the PCC going around the S curve on Hastings Street. And another pair of, it looks like a pair of thousands coming around. Yeah. And one of the old steel streetcars following him. Now there's a pair of St. Louis coming down towards Main Street, Main and Hastings. Real busy transfer between Main and Hastings. The only place on the whole railroad where they could go anywhere in any direction. Now he just crossed Columbia, starting in towards Carroll Street Depot. There he's crossed over to the opposite Main, heading into Carroll Street Depot. Now, wasn't that a nice ride you went on? Well, I'm going to give the mic over to Brother Vic Sharman here because he's going to do a little comment.